Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co.
And I am Ricky. Today we're reviewing Steam Up.
Yes, Steam Up. Steam Up's going to be a feast of dim sum. This is going to be a game coming to Kickstarter shortly. That's basically a set collection game as you try to gather various dim sum into your board. You're going to be playing the game across a variable number of rounds, which will either be determined by the fate cards and or by the number of steamers that are taken depending on the player count. And the goal of the game is really just to get the most points across the game.
On your turn, you pick two actions. The actions are gain one token, that's these.
Okay.
Draw one fortune card, and rotate this.
Yep, so rotating the steamer, okay.
Yes, rotating the steamer. Play one fortune card and rotate the steamer. Exchange two fortune cards for one token and purchase a steamer. And you cannot do the same action twice.
Yeah, and purchasing the steamer is going to basically involve trading in tokens you've slowly been gathering to match a specific steamer. So for instance, if I trade in these 3 tokens over here to gather one of these steamers that have the matching set. And that's where the rotation matters, because every player has their specific rotation of the table, of the area they can pick from. Sometimes, depending on where the steamer is rotated, you might be sharing one of the sections with an adjacent player, which results in a bit of a who's going to get there first. But you're, basically trying to get the steamers by trading in tokens, gathering tokens, playing fortune cards for their abilities, and then of course there's the characters.
Yeah, the characters each have their own special abilities that let you do different things. My ability is, on my turn, I can take the same action twice instead of having to do 2 different.
Which also means she can get these tokens a whole lot faster. Additionally, the various characters are going to have different starting resources, how many cards they start, how many tokens they start, as well as different point distribution. So for instance, you can see with Ricky over here, as she gathers different tokens, if she took, let's say, the steamer over here, she'd put down the tokens over there, gaining the associated points on the board. So there we go. That's going to be 3 points. She's going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3 with a cute little horse miniature over there. What are you doing? Wait. Yeah, so either way, you're going to go ahead and put them out over there. But as she goes further along the track, you can see once she gets the 5th of each kind, she's going to get 3 points for that. And then the 6th of each kind is going to be 2 points. My track's a little different. I have 1 in the first column, a bunch of 2s, and then 3. So every player has different point distributions and different abilities in terms of the way they get. You have interesting character abilities that will result in having 0 points for your last one, which means it's even less of an incentive to gather once you go above a certain threshold. The entire game comes down to balancing the actions you're taking, the abilities you have, and then the way the various steamers are rotated and trying to take advantage of that, plus of course playing fate cards, all in the goal to get as many hardy points, as many HP as possible before the game ends. Anything I'm missing, Rix?
Have you discussed what that's for?
No, this is going to be the fate, the lucky die is called?
Yes.
Yes, this is going to be the lucky die, where various things will let you roll the lucky dice from potential character abilities, fortune cards, all of that, and then you'll, get whatever is shown over there, potentially, depending how the actual lucky dice have different effects depending on the card played. Additionally, at the end of each round, you're going to draw a fate card, which is going to be both a game timer. You have 2 timers, the number of steamers taken, as well as the amount of fate cards left, and then this will, for instance, over here, right here, roll the lucky die. Each player returns 1 token matching the dice result. Oh, we got lucky. There's no 4 on this die, if I recall correctly. Yeah, it's going to be a 4 is an unlucky number, so there's no 4 on the die. So yeah, you're going to have different effects that will result in you rolling the dice and returning things, getting things. Sometimes it won't matter at all what the actual thing is, but just the number. All those kinds of things in the game. Anything else? Nope.
I don't really think so.
Cool. So let's go into the review part of this video. What we like, didn't like, and can see others not liking. So to begin with, Ricky, what do you like about this game?
Well, first of all, these are adorable.
Yes. Those are going to be 3D printed miniatures. Everything you see here, by the way, is very much a prototype from the rules, from the components. Those are all 3D printed miniatures. I believe there's going to be 2 versions of this game, if I'm not mistaken. A deluxe and a standard version. Standard version will have tokens, and deluxe will have, little 3D bits that are much more, deluxe.
And along with these being adorable, so are the little character bits.
They are.
I mean, the naughty monkey, and the cards are even cuter.
You have this little adorable mouse. The cards, I'll go ahead and get the cards.
I need to show you the naughty monkey character. So
here we go. Here's the cards.
Okay, let's see. This is the food blogger. He's upside down. The
snake.
Meat lover. Picky eater.
We have the little goat person.
Oh, wait.
You're going the back direction.
Yes,
We have the monkey.
Oh, it's the naughty monkey. He's
The
my
monkey.
favorite picture.
Yeah, these are all going to be a whole bunch of cards with different art, different abilities, different tokens that go along with them, all giving you a different way to play the game. It's going to be a different gameplay experience depending on what special ability and scoring track you're trying to take advantage of. Some of them have interesting things where, like Picky Eater, I love Picky Eater because the first three foods, I know, that's why I love him. The first three foods the Picky Eater takes are going to determine which food scores more, and then subsequent foods are less interesting to the Picky Eater. But a whole bunch of interesting thematic. I love the grandfather character just reaches across the table to take other people's food. It's
Really?
Yeah, because it's like it just doesn't care. It's like, oh, I'll just take your food. It's all good. I believe it takes the various steamers regardless of what section they're in. Is that the one? Is that the grandfather?
See. You may purchase steamers on stacks outside of Feastone by spending one additional token of your choice.
Yep.
When you do score 1 HP point per dim sum in the steamer.
Basically, you can take steamers from across the table. You just have to pay a little extra.
Points.
And extra points for doing so. It's like, oh, I'll just take that, thank you very much. Yes. But yeah, that's going to be the basic idea of Steam. Well, I'm now going to review mode. But back to what we liked. So anything else? You like the characters?
And I also like how you have different abilities that manipulate the game.
Yeah.
And I also I like how you have to have 2 different actions, so you can't just like gain tokens, gain tokens.
Unless
you
you're
also have to lose stuff. Yeah, unless you're Speed Eater. But yeah. I also like how there's some abilities you like to do a lot, and some abilities is only option. And I also like how it's like rotate, thank you.
Yep.
And you're like, I needed that. And sometimes, as the game progresses, you won't have any steamers in your zone at all. I'll have to top it like twice.
As the game gets towards a close, what starts off as being plenty of steamers and plenty of options will start to come down to like having less and less on the board and less to choose from. But yeah, I agree with you. I like the abilities are going to be my favorite part. Those things mix up the game every single time. Additionally, not just the ability, but the way the point distribution works out on every character. The general set collection is fun. You know, you're grabbing a token, you trade it in, you hope that someone doesn't get there first. I like the fortune cards, I like powers and abilities in general, and the ability to both play a card. Like, I like that the game doesn't force you to rotate as an individual action, rather rotating goes along with other things. So, as you're trying to get the dim sum, the steamers, into your specific area, you get to play a fortune card, doing something there that's beneficial to yourself, and rotating it at the same time. Additionally, the fate cards add a degree of variability as well as you try to figure out what goes on. And I'd say the game teaches very quickly, it plays fairly quickly, it doesn't overstay its welcome. You can get a game, depending on the player count, you can get a 3-player game of this done in like 30 to 45 minutes, maybe 45 minutes your first play, but it's a fast-paced game. You grab tokens, you trade them in for steamers, and then you rinse and repeat until someone ends up with the most points at the end of the game. As far as what you didn't like, anything you didn't like about the game?
I don't know, cause I remember in one game the fates and control I felt like weren't really controlling enough. I don't remember if it was this game or not.
Okay, maybe.
So, but it is annoying that the game doesn't say you can pick you can have one steamer, and if there's none in your zone, there's none in your zone.
Yeah, towards the end of the game, it can become a bit of a trying to eventually get something. You're just like, I'll gather tokens. Hopefully, eventually something will show up in my zone. Early game, that's not as much of an issue. End game, it can be more of an issue as you try to actually get something. For myself, there's going to be a few small things I didn't like. None of them particularly large things, but things worth noting. First of all, I felt the fortune cards, as much as I like some of them, I felt some of them were underwhelming. Weird. So, underwhelming. Just some of them I really enjoyed what they did, and I was like, oh, that's a fun card to play. I really like it. And others just didn't feel as impactful. I prefer to see them be all in the strong zone. Not overpowered, but it felt like some fortune cards were better than others, and not just situationally better, but straight up better than others. Additionally, I didn't love, and this is an interesting balance to go through because of that end game versus early game benefit, but the rotating of the dim sum, the rotating of the steamers, didn't feel that much of a blocker, at least early game, because you can constantly draw a card and rotate, play a card and rotate, and you can frequently get it back in your zone fairly easily. I almost wish the steamer only rotated one direction, because that would make it actually like, oh no, you just took my thing from me, and now I'm going to have to play like 3 cards to get it back. It would feel more like it mattered.
Yeah, like another game we played.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called, but there was this tower, and to get elements, you were only allowed to twist it a certain direction based on what you did.
Don't know. But yeah, no, I like the idea of rotating it, and I like the idea of cards, of fortune cards that will let you like overrule things and whatnot. I just want it to matter a bit more and not feel like I can always pull it back. The reason that's tricky as far as feedback goes is towards the end game, that would make the last few rounds where it's already hard enough to get something even harder. So early game, I want the steamers to be a little harder to get. End game, I felt it was already hard to get, so it's an interesting balance to play with in that sense. I don't know how to resolve that, but yeah, I like the rotation. I just want the rotation to matter more. Anything else you don't like? Oh, also, I'll say, personally, I know you like the art. Personally, I'm not drawn in by the art. I love the little miniatures. The art's fine for me, but it doesn't actually personally draw me in, just in terms of, yeah, my own taste. As far as we can see, others not liking. So for me, there's going to be one major thing, which is also the game resolves for itself, which is there are mean cards in the game. There are cards that will hurt, the other players in terms of this giant stack of fortune cards. The nice thing is, the game does give you little symbols, if I can find them here, like little symbols in terms of... No, it's over here, the little star, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, there's going to be little symbols telling you, hey, if you don't want cards that hurt other players, if you don't want cards that steal, tokens from other players or negatively impact others, you can just remove them from the game. So for ourselves, we didn't find it to be mean enough that we felt the need to remove them. I took your token. It's not a big deal. It's not like I completely destroyed X, Y, and Z. So for ourselves, it wasn't a problem, but if you don't like that mean streak, you can pull those things out. Past that, what I would say is the game is very much on the lighter side. Be aware as you look at this for yourself. It's a game where there are choices, there are decisions, but for the most part, it's going to be about gathering tokens and utilizing and combining the special abilities. It's a fairly sequential game in terms of just the process you're going through to gather points. Grab tokens, trade them for steamers. Steamers will get you points, and then slight adjustments in terms of how you approach that puzzle, depending on your ability and perhaps the abilities of others at the table. Which brings us to final thoughts and review.
Yeah. My final thoughts are, I like how there's like a fate stack and fortunes. Like you can manipulate how it matters to you with the fortune cards, but it happens to everyone with the fate cards. Like I like that, but it's not just putting things I like, but I like that. And the gameplay is cute, but the theme of collecting dim sum is like. It's okay.
It's okay. You've never really had dim sum.
No, I have not.
Yeah, so I agree. I've
had a dumpling. I have had a dumpling.
That's fair. I've had dumplings too. I haven't had a lot of the various the wide variety of dim sum you can have. I have definitely not had, but I agree. The food theme. I like the concept. I like these little lobster claws and all the various tokens that they have. But yeah, I'm a little disconnected from the variety of types of foods you could be having here, just because I haven't personally been exposed to them. But yeah. And as far as rating?
I would say 3 because it's a cute game. I like it, but it's not. And if you asked if I wanted to play it, I would probably say yes. But it's not really something I would try hard to get on the table.
Yeah, I agree completely. For me, this one is a 3 out of 5. I very much enjoy it. If somebody wants to table it, I'm 100% down. It's fun. It's light. I kind of do want to play it a few more times to go through different animals and try different combinations. But it's the kind of thing that I think that once I've gone through the various animals, once I've gone through the various characters you can play as, at that point, I'd probably be more in the, hey, if Ricky asks to play it, I'm down for it, but not one I'd be seeking out. Past that, trying to explore more and just see all the various strategies this game has to offer. That's basically going to be our review of Steam Up, A Feast of Dim Sum by Hot Banana Games, coming soon to Kickstarter or on Kickstarter. Link down below, all that stuff. Until next time, I'm Alex.
And I'm Ricky.
And have a good one.